And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to, session 132 of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition in our humble world of Papihos. I am joined here by 5 wonderful people: Helminia, James, Alpha, Suzanne, and Jazz, playing their wonderful characters in this odd world that I've dreamed up, and they're all stuck. But it's been a long run, and we are getting closer and closer to the end of our story. But not everything is done quite yet. So, before we get into it, I feel like I should give just one more quick announcement, even though she'll probably hate me for it. Congratulations go out to Jazz, our wonderful herring gun fighter by the name of Nime, for doing something outside of the game that the rest of us haven't really done.
Oh.
Congratulations on getting engaged!
Yay! I'm getting married. So excited. Jeez, I didn't expect to make an announcement.
Oh,
my
why
gosh.
the fuck not?
I'm like eating dinner. I'm like, oh god, he's gonna do it.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I got engaged, guys. I'm getting married. So exciting.
And
Guys, tell them exactly how it happened so they can have the laugh that I did.
oh no.
Okay, so is everyone ready to laugh really loud? Because it's definitely in character for Cody, if anybody's ever met Cody. So, I was making a joke. This all started with me making a fucking joke. I had gotten home. I had gotten home from work because I was getting ready to go out on Valentine's Day dinner. Valentine's Day is like one of my favorite holidays. I love Valentine's Day. Always have since I was a kid. It's just my favorite. Don't know why. It's just great. Anyways, so I'm getting ready for dinner and I'm like, I'm not feeling myself really. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like I look great. Like I feel bloated. I feel gross. And Cody goes, who cares? And in my brain, I'm like, he did not just fucking say that to me. I'm like, I care. I care that I feel because, and then this is where the joke comes in. I'm like, because if you propose tonight, then I'm going to feel fucking weird about it. And he goes, well, joke's on you. I'm not proposing tonight. And then he like whips around and he goes, I'm proposing right now. So that was fun.
God. Well, glad to see he hasn't changed.
Yep.
I knew Cody.
So stupid.
Nah,
Damn, Cody,
it's just
for
your
real.
boy. Just the
He's
boy.
so silly. But yeah.
I honestly, I felt a little weird saying he's your boy, but whatever. That's how Cody rolls, I guess. How Cody rolls in my
really
mind,
is.
anyway. He's the boy.
Yeah, he is the boy.
The boy.
The boy.
My man's got a ring.
You have
We
to
gotta
say
call
my
him a
man.
now.
Yeah.
He bought a ring.
My
He
man got
did
a
the
ring.
thing.
Graduated from boy to man. That's what you need to do. Is you need to buy a ring.
You gotta
Yeah.
buy a ring. You gotta make a woman. I'm stopping it right there. Let's keep going.
Okay.
You gotta make a woman
You gotta make
Whoa.
a woman. Okay.
by buying her a ring.
Damn. So I was a
Yeah.
girl before this? That's
I
fucked.
guess.
I mean, you might still be a girl now.
Wow.
Truly.
Okay.
You want me to prove it? Show us your mouse pad.
What?
All right.
What?
Well,
What?
Let me
With-
stop before I get canceled.
with all mouse pads aside, although Jazz needs to send me a screenshot after this stream, we are going to jump back in with a recap. Where we last left off, our heroes of the plains were deep within a battle with a god. The hands of Mystra had been subjugated and attached to a figure who called themselves the CareTaker of Sin. And the group knew that they needed to succeed one final time to ensure the security of the material plane and beyond by moving the hands of Mystra back into the Divine Gate. And so, Suna, the champion of Mystra herself, released the caretaker, and the 5 of you fought hard deep beneath the rubble of the city of Greywall. Eventually, after fighting against the caretaker themselves and these shadow puppets of the Ascended that you guys have defeated, making themselves known, they fled up into the astral plane with the 5 of you in close pursuit. Seeming to push this goddess to the brink, she called on pockets of the own dimension of her own realm that she began to carve out of the astral plane, sapping the very weave and arcane influence itself from both you and the plane around her. With most of your weapons failing you and most of you on your last legs, a last-ditch attempt before the caretaker made themselves even more powerful was made by Rem, flying out into the astral plane on their broom and declaring themselves a beacon for the wrath of not just his own god, the mistress, the weeping mistress, but for every god that was willing to lend their strength, their anger, and their full conviction. Becoming a dedicated divine airstrike, Rem was filled with divine and wrathful light, and both him and the caretaker disappeared in a brilliant flash. This divine light tore through a hole in the astral plane where they saw the last remnants of the caretaker, but no Rem. With the 4 of you left stepping through, you realize that the hands of Mystra have been pulled back towards the Divine Gate. And by collecting them and calling Mystra to you, the goddess of magic was fully reunited with herself. And as such, the final deed had been done. The planes were safe. And with it, Suna's time on the material plane had ended. With more parting hugs than words, Suna did leave simple instructions. Mostly a request of Gilgamesh. However, with an inquiry towards the goddess of magic, Suna requested to be able to see Rem say goodbye. And we ended last session with Suna fading out. We'll pick back up with Suna as well. Suna, although your friends and allies see you disappear, you simply see a shift. Your body doesn't dematerialize like they see or anything else odd. You just turn away and begin walking towards where Mystra gave you purpose and knowledge to walk the correct way in the divine plane. As you make your way over, you become slowly and steadily filled. Your now divine centric mind becoming slowly inundated with knowledge and different reasonings of the gods and where locations are for each of their realms that they have carved themselves in the divine planes. You would assume, no, you know Rem would not immediately stray from the loving embrace of the weeping mistress and must be within her realm. And so you step towards it. As your feet walk, the general clouds shift from this bright and beautiful silvery gold into deeper shades of black. It's not an eerie sensation in the slightest. If anything, the darkness provides a comforting sense of oblivion. A realm of death that has been carved into a divine plane of immortality. Unique, you see the pockets of the clouds where people can look up or down and see different sections of the planes that are responsible for not for holding souls, but for transporting them. The river Styx below, the ethereal plane in the middle, and Elysium and beyond above. The plane of the Weeping Mistress serves as one of these in-betweens as well, for people of special renown or those who might have an in with a goddess. As you make your way through, you have no specific direction of where your ally, companion, friend might be, but your feet take you to a specific place. And outside, you see the formation of a church. Rem, you might not have initially arrived in this way, and it's taken, as much time as you needed to realize what happened. But none of it's been cruel. Lady of Grief has given you a temporary place of comfortable stature and said that she expects you'll have a guest pretty soon. You don't know whether you wanted this building to take shape or whether it just subconsciously happened to form into your old place of residence from Icraria. But it is oddly reassuring to be somewhere where, for better or worse, it was your home. Suna. You step up to the door. These humble temple doors. And how would you like to enter?
No need to make a big show about it. You just kind of really casual,
You simply lay a palm across the right door and begin slowly pushing it open. The door opens. Rem, uncharacteristically smooth and quiet. Well-oiled, if it were real. Rem, what does Suna see?
As you open the door, you would assume that it would look like the church that you had seen before that Rem used to live in. But you look down, and instead of tile, it's wood. A very familiar wood pattern. As you step directly into the living room of our shared home, isolated off, right in front of the fireplace, as there are 2 chairs. And in one sits Rem with his dubious mug. She told me I'd be having a visitor. I thought I'd have it be a place familiar. Come in.
I will sit in the other chair. Do you have another dubious mug that I could borrow?
As the words leave your lips, you feel something in your hand. It is a dubious mug, filled to the brim.
But what's in here?
What do you want to be in there?
Hmm.
Then you'll have to drink and find out then.
What the hell was in the keg back before?
It was firebrand and whiskey, I believe.
No, I'll go for that.
The liquid does not change. But the smell of it, the general weight of it, you know what's in this cup.
Yeah.
JC, did I see the aftermath as I was making my way through the plane, or did I have bigger things on my mind?
I think it was massive light, blindness, heat, oblivion, and then it faded into warmth, almost like an embrace. You were recovered in your full form by the weeping mistress. But everything after that, you were not present for what the other 4 witnessed.
If you're here, I'm assuming I got the job done.
It seems your whatever that was, did the thing.
Sure hope it did the thing, because it did the thing to me too.
We retrieved the hands, and they've been returned to Mystra.
That's what we did all this for, isn't it?
Do you want to go back?
I don't think I can this time. There's no one down there to do that for me.
Mystra owes me a wish.
And you want to
If
waste
you-
your wish on sending me back?
You want to go back. I want to give you that option.
Rem takes a deep breath in and then just sighs before drawing heavily from the mug and just looking at the fireplace. And I was just getting comfortable too. It seems that you want me to go back.
I mean,
I
I do.
stay up here, you can come and visit me when you're bored. You wouldn't be as alone. Rem's voice wavers before steadying as they pull deeply from the mug that never seems to end.
Don't you want to go home?
I do. There's a lot I have to do down there. I have to tell the children that I made it. I should be helping Roxy rebuild the kingdom. I should be shaking the life out of Gil and Zex and dealing with Mime's temperament, but I also should be here for you. You know?
I think I'll be okay. At least as long as it takes for you to get back.
You know, we usually live a long time, but I don't know. You don't see people at 400 years of age talking about the time they smited themselves, but it'll take a while. Are you sure? Are you
I'm
sure
sure.
you'll be okay?
I'll be okay.
Very well then. Frem is going to empty the bottomless mug. Yeah, I know what I said. Before getting up from their chair and turning their back to the fireplace and saying, "It seems I have to go, my lady."
I'm gonna give Rem a hug.
You get hugged.
You Rem, you feel first as you say that it's this almost distracting kind of flicker and dance of the light, almost like a breeze has just blown through. And you know she's winding up almost to say something before you feel Suna impact, basically, in bringing you into an embrace. And you waver for a second to continue looking at the fire before you continue the hug and embrace Suna back, sparing one glance at that fire that you watch almost with the smile of a mother feeling kind of creeping through you. The fire withdraws as almost one would step back into a crowd at a social event, giving you to the moment and the time that you wish to spend. There need be no gods in this conversation. Just two people that went through more hell than, well, hell, together.
I'll make
I
sure
leave.
everything's okay.
Thank you. Do what you can for them, but go home.
Yeah, I'll make sure to visit home. But am I just gonna get beamed out? Am I gonna fade? Am I gonna explode again? But before that, as I don't know how long the hug is. It's Suna's discretion. But as we part ways, I want to hold out my hand as if to have Suna like give me her hand.
I'll reach my hand back.
I do not believe this would be taken from me, so I'm going to reach out, and Suna now finds in her hand Rem's holy symbol, shining from the oil of being called. It's smaller than you thought it would be. You see Rem with it a lot. It's smaller than you thought it would be.
Is it like a necklace?
Yeah, it's like a necklace. It's an emblem. It's it's all divine, as all holy symbols are. It is a necklace, and Rem's going to pull back and say, "If you ever need to reach out, you know where to find me."
Thank you. And one more thing before you go. And Suna's going to take off the mantle and give it to Rem.
Are you
Take
sure you
this.
won't need this?
I don't think I'll need this here. And besides, who knows when the next batch of heroes will need it.
You know, if I'm lucky, not within my lifetime.
I wish you luck with that.
Wish you luck with whatever was so important. She couldn't give you more time.
Suppose I'll find out soon.
Let me know.
I will.
As you two have been having this conversation, Suna, this is well and truly what you are wishing for, correct?
Yeah.
There is no going back. This thought is absolute in your head.
Yeah. This is my wish.
And unbeknownst to Rem, as soon as the two of you had pulled back from your embrace, bits of Rem were beginning to turn transparent again, like how each of you were in varying stages when you were in the Council of the Divine. As he looked on, talked, began handing you his symbol, more and more of him began to disappear, unbeknownst to him, but all too easy to see for you. With the last bit, as he says, Yeah?
I leave a thought in his head right as he fades out.
Sure.
Just all it is go.
And with the final two words in Rem's head, you watch as his armored hand and wise, scheming eyes disappear, leaving you with a gleaming holy symbol pressed into your palm. And even in the divine planes itself, where everything feels as balanced as it ever should be, can't help being comforted by the warmth this symbol gives you being pressed into your palm. With Suna being in the divine plane, and Rem heading elsewhere, we're going to turn back to the three of you who we've left behind for the last half an hour. Zex, Gilgamesh, Nime. The three of you, as you watched Suna step away and disappear, for whatever reasons, be a possibly forced through a tear or simple blinking, unconscious as it is, no matter how hard you try to keep track of the retreating form of your friend, your eyes each shut, one set at a time, without your own decision being made about it. And at the end of it, once those eyes open back, you feel wind through your hair. You feel grass under your feet or boots. You feel this slight chill through your hair or scales. Your eyes open and you're on a hill. This was the hill that a scrying orb was placed upon. A hill that you'd all stood on and watched the city of Greywall back when this entire thing started. Slightly overlooking the city, but not being able to see past the walls. Nearly a month ago, you watched as this great city turned to ash and fell to the reign of the Ascended. The three of you stand upon this hill now and overlook a city, burnt, forced nearly to its breaking point, and some might even say broken, and then pulled back together by the stubbornness of the people trying to save it and those trying to survive within it. But the walls are still there. And from that, you pull the thought into your mind. Every fire can be put out. Every bit of rubble can be cleared from the streets. And every uncracked foundation made anew for another house. A new family to be moving in. A new life to be started. And there's still so many people ready to live their lives without fear of the Ascended or what they wrought on the plane or Papihos itself. It's because of you. Because of you and your friends. They have a chance. But there's still a lot of work to do. Nime, Gilgamesh, Zex. What would you like to do next?
Let's start making our way back into town towards our house.
Yeah, I'd like to go home.
The statement made and agreements, one foot in front of the other, you begin stepping back to the town. The gates have been seemingly cleared, possibly by the force that was helmed by Kylene and Jensen to clear gates and allow people to escape from the city, but the west gate you are able to navigate and make your way into the city. The streets themselves, mostly empty besides the rubble that's strewn across the streets. But with the way you head, the emptiness lends itself with your new knowledge, not to an eerie nature, or that of impending horror, but a finality, of completeness. The three of you step, after a while, to your front door. But you remember, maybe at this point, if not while you were walking there, your house had a little bit of an ordeal of its own. The mess that has been made will take a while to clean up, but nevertheless, you step over the broken door. You step aside off of any of the ash or fallen chairs or bookcases, maybe putting one or two of them upright. You're back home. Welcome home.
Thanks.
What do you do?
Going right to my room.
You can see each of you exploring your house. You can see that things have been, at best, ransacked and at worst, destroyed. There's metal pieces flung about the forge. There's doors to your bedrooms have been either kicked in or cut down via heavy axes or hammers. Your place has turned into a bit of a fixer-upper. You all spend the next 10 or 20 minutes calling out the newfound issues that are, well, gonna plague you all for at least a couple weeks. Are you looking for anything, or are you just going to spend time taking back in your house?
I know Nime is going to go into her room and kind of lock herself up for a bit, just to relieve some emotion.
Zex, what about you?
Zex is gonna start picking through the rubble for any of Rem's personal items.
You going into his room or in the main first floor area?
Well, let's go into his room.
Okay. The main things that you're able to kind of start to recover would be different things for making potions and supplies of that nature. There's honestly, I don't think besides you and maybe Nime, people hoarded too much in their rooms. Are you looking for anything in particular?
His mug. I'm assuming that will probably be downstairs if it's not in here.
It
though.
would. It takes some while, but you'd find it in the kitchen.
Okay.
You find his dubious mug.
His dubious mug.
With Nime locking herself in her room and Zex patrolling the house for any personal artifacts of Rem. Gilgamesh, you're the last one.
I mean, the state of the castle is probably not that good for probably gone.
You
really.
remember that the castle was hit with minimum 1 meteor.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I can make you a roll for this. I mean,
Tell me what you
hopefully
want.
not intelligence. But I very obviously have some unfinished business with a certain royal, or soon to be royal, maybe royal because her parents are dead.
I think she was already royal because of, being a princess, but...
Right. But it's like not like royal, like, I don't know.
Okay.
Because it's like not actually like leader.
She's not
but...
diet royal anymore.
Damn.
She's like royal classic.
But it's like her parents are probably dead, so it's like she's actually like probably like the queen now, so I don't know. Anyway, I need to go find her.
Okay.
As much as me personally don't want to, I have to do it anyway.
All right. With the other 2 of your allies staying in the house, you know the last place you saw her. Do you head to the main square?
I mean, best place to look where you lost something is where you last had it.
Okay. You step out of the house into the air. You look, you can see that minimum it's sometime in the morning. You don't know how much time's passed, but some amount of time has. You step southwards towards the center of town. The market square, and kind of the epicenter of where all this was. As you move closer, I see no need to make you roll. What you see is interesting.
Oh no.
1. The last time you were there, there was a considerable amount of rubble, specifically from Lackham's tower, which had exploded.
I'm familiar. I was there.
There is a distinct lack of that obsidian stone anywhere.
Oh, so there's like none at all.
None.
Whoa. Okay.
However, as you get closer, you would notice that there is still a large ring that has been carved into the worked stone ground of the market square where Lackham's tower was. But any actual indicator besides that a tower was ever there, besides cracks on the ground where the tower fell, is not. It's almost like the tower never existed.
Yeah. That's impressive.
What does exist is this large, almost like tricorned tent. It's about 20
Okay.
feet in length of this larger tent, and then has 2 smaller 10-foot tents to the right and left of it. It's set up alongside the the center of the square, alongside where the fountain is in the middle. You can see that there are different crates and boxes that have been placed, and you see people.
Are these people do I recognize these people at all?
The first person you see is this young girl, maybe about 8 or 9 years old, human. These big puffy cheeks and glowing like amber eyes, and she kind of like sees you and then runs over to a maybe an older brother, someone who's 14, 15 years old with the same blonde hair. And although you don't recognize him, you see his eyes seem to flash with some sort of recognition. And you can hear as he kind of kneels down and kind of like folds his arms around her waist. And you can hear him kind of whisper to her, "He's one that protected us when we were by the sandpit, the arena place." And you can see her eyes kind of light up itself, and the two of them just kind of watch. There are more people around. You're beginning to pick out numbers of maybe 3 dozen people.
Oh, wow, okay.
And you're realizing these people are coming by and grabbing food and blankets, and some of them are sitting on the ground eating and talking, and others are just grabbing their stuff and beginning to pack it in bags and step off to another section. These are survivors. No faces that you recognize yet, but they know you.
I mean, yeah. So, oh, wow. So I'm just seeing the 3 dozen just here.
Yes.
That's pretty good. I arguably expected less. So I would assume there's still more kind of out and about. So I guess, I'll make my way over there, probably ask some questions, hopefully get some answers.
Yeah. You can see as you're walking closer, people are specifically like going up to the tent and either going to a crate or walking into the tent. But this seems to be some sort of like central hub that they're all engaging with.
Right.
Are you just walking up to a random person? Would you like to walk into the tent? What's your plan?
If they're all kind of walking into like one place to go and like get these things, I'm assuming whoever is running it or somebody who knows who's running it is probably in there, so I guess I'll head into the tent.
All right, let's see who's there right now.
Let's see.
Gilgamesh. You
What's up?
Step in and you can hear people clamoring and chatting and asking for a plethora of things. Bandages, medicine, water, blankets, shoes, all of these things. And you can hear people responding. But above it all, you can hear this lighter voice with a hint of joy behind it and gratefulness as the first person you recognize. A blonde, half-elven woman. She looks tired, but happy. She's currently handing a blanket that she's rolled up to an older gentleman And I'm sure this will keep you warm. And as he steps to the side, Roxy sees you. You see her
I'm not ready.
eyes open, her mouth open as well, as though to say something, but everything catches. This freeze, this moment in time that it is just you and her. And as attentive and loving as she is to any of these misplaced people within her city now, these 5 seconds seem like minutes. As you watch her eyes realize no one's stepping in the tent after you. And you watch as her open mouth with a hint of smile, of surprise and relief slowly fade.
I'm gonna give her kind of like a I feel like a solemn look is the right way to put it, and see if I can like gesture her to like follow me out of like the tent and like away from all these people.
You gesture, and the time seems to return to normal, and you see her kind of quickly give you a nod. And Gilgamesh, you immediately take that to step out of the tent, as all of a sudden, you've never been too claustrophobic of a person, but the walls seem to almost crash down upon you. It's uncomfortable, it's stuffy, and you just step outside. She's coming outside, and this can be straightened out. And to her credit, it only takes her a couple of minutes, but it is agonizing as you wait for her to step. But eventually you see a flap of the side of one of the smaller tents open. And you see her step outside.
How like I wanna make sure I'm like manageable distance away from everybody, like
Yeah, if you want to lead her away.
I guess we can, once she kind of makes her way out, like we can kind of start walking as we start to talk.
You step out and away and begin walking. Everything feels a little bit more empty.
Mm-hmm.
The people sounds begin to die away, and the village, it feels less like a town and more like a city of ghosts. One simple bit of knowledge twists it all onto its head. As the two of you step away from the crowd of survivors, everyone's so desperate to get food, medicine, that the queen slipping away with one of the heroes, they don't even notice. And I think the worst part of it all is Roxy doesn't say a word to you. She just steps in stride with you.
Well, yeah. At the very least, I want to start this off by telling you that, as far as I'm concerned, we're done. There's no more work for the collective party. And as far as I'm concerned, I I'm sorry. She's not gonna come back, Roxy. And if she'll let me, because I've never probably had more than like 3 conversations with this woman, I want to fulfill the rest of Suna's request and just give her a very big and like meaningful hug. The best way Suna taught me how.
It's because of the size difference between you and Roxy, you almost like are required to kneel like on one knee. And it leads into this moment where like you take a pause and you get down on one knee and she looks at you and you can see this, it almost seems like a bit of fear almost in her eye. And it's when you reach out and gently touch her shoulder and bring her into a hug, she looked you feel it's this almost entire shiver to her form. It's of someone who a mixture of emotions is crashing through them. It's not hard to know she's distraught. She's also relieved that you're here. She's relieved that anyone's alive. And she knows, she has to know that deep down there was always a chance that any of you, any of the 5 of you that stepped out to face off against those who were trying to bring harm to not just yourselves or her, but the entire world at large. It's not a guarantee that they can come back, but it does not make it easier to accept. You are a strong person, Gilgamesh, of both body and spirit. You have taken many blows upon your form and have been able to channel your spirit into your ancestors to aid you in battle and decision. And in so you have perceived much of the world as weak. In this moment, it would still be wrong for you to think the word weak. Because it's not. The word that comes to your mind as you're holding this girl is fragile. she's although fated to have to deal with this, was never intending herself to know what this felt like. And in doing so, you're afraid if you pull out of this embrace that she would fall apart into 1,000 pieces of glass. And so you keep her together. The Queen of Papihos in this moment does not shatter because of your strength. And you wait. And in this moment, it does not seem to stretch or shorten. The time is simply as what it needs to be, and you wait and hold her until you feel her body still itself and sturdy and solidify, until you know that she is not about to fall apart. And then you pull back. And you hadn't noticed that she's been crying. Not just now that tears are falling down her face, these long rivers of sorrow that pool into underneath her eyes and flow freely down her cheeks. Constantly. It almost looks like she has for days. And in this moment, you realize that she's not just crying for Suna. She has been crying for all 5 of you. And at the very least in this moment, she is so grateful that there is one less person she needs to cry over. She kind of rubs her wrists through her eyes. You'll have to tell me how it happened. You don't need to do that right. You don't need to do that right now, Gilgamesh. It's all. I can wait.
What I do need you to know is that through trials upon trials, through thick and thin, through everything we've been through, and God, I don't even know how long it's been. There were, at least in my eyes, always 2 things she was thinking of. One of them being seemingly the rest of her party and task at hand, but the other always seemed to be you. And I want you to know that that was honestly and very prevalently true all the way up until the end. Because the last time I saw her, she wanted me to come talk to you, and
then she came to say goodbye to me. So if nothing else, always know that you're one of the first things that she always did think of and always will think of. And she's always going to be looking over you.
She had begun to do the right and proper thing, drying her tears, steeling herself. She is unable to fulfill her royal persona at the moment, as you don't send her as far that you did before at a risk of shattering, but it's, you can see it's this more human and less elegant of this shaky breathing. And she just listens to you, this kind of like her face scrunching almost as in resistance to it all. She's resembling a bit of a dam of emotions, holding everything. She's understood, but probably hasn't emotionally accepted Suna's state. A promise made by Suna that cannot, by definition, be met. And I think that in this moment she's realized that she didn't intend to keep it. Gil, the two of you stay at the outskirts of the market square for an undisclosed length of time. You know that someone will come looking for her if she stays too long.
Eventually.
Regardless of the state of the city, there are still very capable people that are watching over her. But you stay by. You let her slowly and uncharacteristically silently pick through what remains of her emotions and build something constructive out of it. And although you're not sure whether she's ready or not, at some point she does believe she is. And And she begins heading back towards the central square.
Before she leaves, can I say one more thing?
Go for it.
Kind of as she's making her way out, I'll call out for her, and just tell her, from this point on, if you need anything, just come and find me. If I'm not in Greywall, I'm probably in Daycaria, so just come and find me and we'll figure it out.
She nods, and gives you a tired smile that only someone who has begun to run out of tears can give. But you know she understands. As she heads back,
And I think I will also, I mean, I guess not also, but I'm gonna head home.
okay?
What's left of it, I guess.
And so be it, where you head back up north, past everything, back to your house. Zex, Nime, several hours have passed. Is there anything new that you would like to be doing?
I'm gonna clear off one of the chairs and wait for Gil to get back.
Okay. Nime?
I'm gonna try and find Esame.
You know where the last place he was. You head to the Halls of Glory. One goes south to the square, and the other, after about an hour, heads slightly north. All this time, across the street, the entrance to the Halls of Glory. Nime, you step down the aged stone. You can see far, long, dried blood and gore along the steps. You step to the where you expect to see another barricade. What would this be? The third, fourth, fifth barricade that you've had to traverse in the halls? But you weren't expecting to see where the door should be has been cleared away. It's open, inviting, and you see a figure standing in the doorway, and with the lighting of the Halls of Glory, it top lights the female form that dives into the more satyr's legs, equipped with a sword, and long parrying dagger at her side. A bow lies propped up against the doorframe. Nime, you see Terra. As her eyes kind of... You see them blink almost as if someone who's not necessarily tired, but in a quick form of either disbelief or checking themselves quickly, someone who needs to make sure that they know what they're seeing.
Nime is just going to she's choking. She's about to start sobbing and she just goes, It's been done.
And see, you hear almost kind of unconsciously you realize your eyes are getting watery and clouded as you hear more than see. Terra kind of steps up and you can feel her hand kind of grab the side of your arm. Let's get you inside.
Nime is going to reach for her, like, link her arm in Terra's and follow her in.
The sight of the two women entering the halls of glory is enough to have anyone who's around point and call out. Terra is a familiar face to everyone down here, but seeing Nime again is a welcome sight. You can hear questions being shouted out, statements, people yelling to others. Your eyes betraying you in this moment, not really seeing much. It's this cacophony of noise, and for once you wish that you couldn't hear so well. All of these people asking, where is everyone? What happened? Is it over? Are we good? Are we safe? And it's this loud cacophony overwhelming you. You wouldn't feel, you shouldn't feel like this. It's been so much worse. Why is it so bad? Nime? The voice, soft but solid, cuts through it. And you feel this form of Esumi kind of take you, and you feel him hug you around the waist tightly and draw you in. Oh, thank the gods. I didn't think I could get religious.
Nime is going to hug Esumi back, or like very tightly, and say, neither did I, but I saw them for myself, so it's over. But not all of us made it back.
Is it just you?
No. Zex and Gil made it.
"3 days for 3 lives. I... Thank you for coming back.
It's all I could do. I just wish that it was all of us. But thankful that some of us were able to make it back.
You feel, saying this, his hand kind of come up to your cheek, and Itham gently kind of brush aside tears that have been welling up in your eye. You can see him. He looks tired still, but better than when you left him. He's moving. He looks less bruised and has been fully on the mend. His eyes shimmer with the emotions that he's holding, looking upon you. I know you had the harder job, Nime, but it got a little hard to stay away. I'll have to give you a bit of a... We'll swap stories.
I'd like that. But can we just go relax for now?
Of course. And he wraps his arm around your neck and pulls you into another tighter embrace. And the two of you, well, don't necessarily have anything to do at the moment.
No, not really.
And I think that's all right. Gilgamesh.
Yo.
You return to the house, and you see, well, Zex is almost somehow made more of a mess. There were a couple things on the table, and he's kind of pushed them off and has begun setting other things up on the table. And as you step into the house, you hear him call and motion you over to him.
I would like to note, as Gil, as he walks into the house, I'm assuming Zex will take note that he was wiping his eyes, he was probably crying on his way back. But nonetheless, he'll kind of clear his throat and make his way in and see whatever Zex has waiting.
Zex Gilgamesh has arrived.
I don't
I know.
I don't think Zex is present.
I know. Zex is a little brain dead at the moment.
Just a little bit. Nothing
That's
out of the
normal.
Brain dead.
That's the first thing he hears. Zex, at this moment, Gilgamesh has returned, albeit Nime has left the house for her own reasons while you were cleaning stuff off. But you have called him over into the kitchen where you've cleared off the table. And Gilgamesh is now with you.
Once Nime gets back, we're gonna try and resurrect Rum.
Nime ain't coming back.
No, Nime's just gone.
Unless you go looking for her, she's staying at Halls of Glory right now.
Ah,
She's shacking up.
I'm
And-
shacking up.
And you think
we
we
have
can
the
do
rings
this?
on still.
Yeah, you do.
I
My
know we
fellow's
can.
resurrection.
My boon that I was given lets me cast one spell, any spell, assuming I have the resources to do so, or the energy to do so. That's why I asked Mystra for a little extra power. before we left the Divine Realm.
And Zex, what if he doesn't want to come back?
And that's his choice, but I don't think I could live with myself if I didn't try.
I hate to say for once in a long time, I really do agree with you. So, do we have everything we need? Are we ready?
I just
waiting?
need Nime. I'm assuming this ritual will be similar to the one that we cast to bring Rem back originally, but more powerful. And so I'd like Nime to be here just in case we need to, do any of that kind of stuff. I'll speak into the ring. Nime, we're gonna try and resurrect Rem. Could you come back to the house, please?
He said it so
When
nonchalantly,
you're
too.
done.
It's
It's such a crazy thing to be like, hey, can you just come back real
How
quick?
do
Come
I
home.
phrase this to make it not nonchalant, huh?
pick up
We're
some milk on the
we're
way
raising
home.
Rem from the dead.
We're dragging Rem out of his grave. Old man can't sleep yet. He's gonna come put more bandages on me. I'm not. You're done when I say you're done.
Yet.
Am I truly necessary for this?
Oh, she hates me.
I was gonna say, damn, Nime hates Ram.
No.
The
No.
last time we resurrected Rem, it helped the magic in some way having people who were close to him around.
Well, wait, was she not here for that last time? Did Nime not
She
exist
was
then?
not.
She was not.
Nime did
I
not
forgot
exist
that
then.
timeline didn't cross over.
Well, it's
But
the
If you
same
want, we can meet
timeline.
you
understand
wherever you
that
are.
she's like needed for this. She's
She hasn't had to deal with this before.
yeah.
I guess this is our second time around the block for Zex and I.
Yeah.
With the same
Nime's
person.
died twice.
Yes, but we haven't had to use any extra
Mm-mm.
spicy resurrection magic besides the one time Rum died yet.
I think I want to chime in on the ring and just say it'll be quick.
May I bring company or do I need to come alone?
I'm gonna look
As
to
long as
Zex
it's
for that.
as long as it's company you feel would be applicable for this kind of thing.
Nime is going to look at Esumi, sigh, and say, I will be back shortly. And then
Okay. And he's just kind of giving you this questioning look. He doesn't actually say it, but you can feel. He knows that if you wanted him to come with you, you would just say so. And it's that kind of look of like, he knows that whatever you're doing, you need to be doing. You haven't done anything extraneous concerning anything in minimum a month. So
she's just going to look at him and say, they're gonna try and bring Rem back, and I need to be present.
well, if you're there, then it has to work.
Oh, stop it, you! Oh my goodness!
This man's riz is actually crazy. I'm gonna be so honest.
Oh,
I get to watch Nime fold in real time every single time.
folded. Nime's knees buckle beneath her as she falls to the ground. Just okay, I'll be back. And then she skedaddles. She skedaddles back to the house.
Okay. Nime, you reluctantly, but you trust your friends, you know.
How How long has Rem been dead now?
I mean, honestly, you're the only one that's heard anything regarding time in the entire group so far.
Yeah.
How long since, in your guys' interpretation, Rem has been
No,
dead?
how long in real time? I know that we were in that plane. I didn't know that we didn't know that. That was like mind-boggling to me. I was like, well, damn, we were really in there for 3 fucking days.
You can, if you'd wanted to, you could have asked, had Nime just, how long were we gone? And he'd tell you that, like, yeah, you guys were gone for 3 days.
That's insane.
Holy crap.
That's wild.
So in real time,
Mhm.
how long has Rem been dead?
You mean in your time? Or the world's time? Let's just...
World's time.
Rem has been dead for nearly 4 days now.
No
Is
good.
resurrection gonna work?
Let's find out.
Yeah. So the spell I'm casting is good for 200 years past the point of death.
Okay, yeah, we'll be fine.
We love
Yeah, we're good.
We
We're
love 9th level magic.
I feel like we
It's
should wait
pretty
this out and
cool.
really test it. I feel like we should wait like the 190 and see if it still works.
199.
Yeah, give him like a year.
Gil has 190 days left in him.
I was gonna say, I don't think I'll make it that long, but that's fine.
All right.
Yep, it's messed up for some reason. JC, I tried to make it play.
So, we are going to Nime as
Amazing.
you yes, as you make your way back. You see the same thing that Gilgamesh was treated to. Of Zex has, in a way that you'd only expect of Zex, made more of a mess of the house by pushing things off of the table, because there were a few things scattered on the table, and he's just cleared off the table, set some things up, and you can see some different items and books that have been placed onto the table alongside a dubious mug. As Gil kind of looks over his shoulder and Zex turns to see you as you enter. All 3 of you are in the house.
Then let's begin.
As you prepare yourself to do that, you hear a noise.
It sounds like a heavy object impacts slightly, almost like if it was dropped like a foot or so, onto the ceiling above you. It takes a second as all 3 of you simultaneously been trained for years. Snap to the ceiling. Now, I would like all of you to roll intelligence checks.
Oh, I'm
You know what? I feel like I'm being targeted. I feel like you said
25
that
wisdom saving throws right now.
because you don't like me,
that's a
and you
good
know
roll.
my intelligence mod is really bad.
Is
Don't
anyone's
worry, me
intelligence
too.
mod good in this party? Let's be
I'm
real
a
here.
+1. I'm
See,
a
that's
plus
better than me.
fucking 1. What, are you a negative?
I'm a 0.
Oh,
You said this
I
is a
am-
check, right?
Yes.
Incredibly average.
dirty
I
20.
get +3 to my intelligence checks.
I also have a plus.
I only get that because of Jack of all trades, though.
Well, at least you get it, because I don't.
13.
Okay. In a snap decision of all of you, it's like the other 2 didn't even say anything. Am I just to assume that 13's the highest?
I got a 6.
Sick.
Okay,
You
JC,
got
is that what you
20.
wanted to hear?
Nime?
What?
She
got a
didn't
dirty
roll.
20.
So,
I got a
dirty
dirty 20.
Nime, the rooms above you is Rem's room.
Oh shit, I'm running up there. Nime, go first.
You guys look up. All of you look down. Trade eye contact, and Nime fucking sprints out of the room. Just these heavy footsteps. Zex, Gil, do you follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gil next. Zex taking a moment, looking down at the table that he's like was mentally preparing himself to do, and then following. Nime, you rush up the stairs, and you see the Rem's door that is slightly ajar, and you step up to it, and wham! The door opens. Gil appears over one shoulder of Nime, Zex over the other. And what do they see?
It's Rem in the room taking their armor off.
Another loud metallic sound.
Nime is going to look at like over her shoulders at Zex and Gil and just be like, "Am I seeing things? Is this real? Did we already do the resurrection?"
Not to my knowledge.
As far as I'm concerned, no.
You guys talking about a resurrection for? You guys can't resurrect anything.
It was Zex's idea.
Because I can.
No, you can't.
For right now, I can.
I'm
Nime
sorry.
is
can
going
we,
to oh, go ahead.
Can we stop the bickering and realize that Rem is back?
Rem is gonna nonchalantly push past you guys to walk out.
Nime is going to block you and unconsensually tackle you in a hug.
Whoa!
My consent blows up consent with mine.
No, not my fucking consent.
Rem tries to like coolly like a badass walk out and just wham! Nime tackles him to the floor.
Be careful, a lot of that's new.
I'm gonna give Zex a confused look because last time we resurrected somebody, we had to do things.
We did. I'm also very confused.
Okay.
Nime's like silently sobbing. You were gonna leave me alone with these two, and you were not gonna come back.
JC, do I know about the conversation they had, like right before all this?
Right before.
Can I please know? Can I had my ring, I heard it.
I've given people some benefits this game. You are welcome to have that as your benefit. You know.
I mean, you didn't even want to come to the resurrection.
Whoa, let's
You didn't
take
even
a
you
step
weren't
back.
gonna come.
Nime's like, let's take a step back really quickly. I was mourning your death. I didn't know I needed to be here.
You weren't even gonna come. This is almost as worse as the last time when they didn't even say anything. They just looked at me like I was stupid as I laid on the ground.
They looked at you like you were stupid, so you
At
died
least they-
before.
Look, we do a little trolling here. Can you get off of me now?
No.
Like, I just got here. All of this shit's new, okay?
You want athletics to try and get out?
It's not gonna work.
I
Sounds
think
like
at Rem's request, I'm gonna try and peel Nime off.
And Nime is going to try and contest by pulling Gil down into a group hug.
That is a contested athletics check.
You were going to kill me
Bye,
again if you pulled him
bye.
up to me.
Oh wait, hold on. I need to check. I need to
It's
check
just
a
like,
thing.
I thought that was
Oh
just
my
Alpha saying, "Oh
God.
shit."
I need to
shit.
check a thing.
You said strength?
I said athletics.
Athletics. Oh, okay.
That's
Where is
strength.
it? Where is
That's
it?
It's strength based, but I'm pretty sure Nime has the bonus to it as well.
I do.
Thing. Where's I'm looking for?
Alpha, what are you looking for?
Ugh, I got my roll.
I don't think
Never
you.
mind,
I don't
it's-
think you get anything to this one because you're
I
not
don't-
raging.
No, I thought it might
No
be off
raids.
the sword, but I don't think I do. It's just
No.
a bonus.
Beat a 29, loser.
Oh, thank you.
You want to know? Do you want to know the sucky thing about that?
You got a 28.
I did. I got exactly a 28.
Gil, you reach over and Nime just grabs you by the belt on your chest and pulls you this large impact, this makeshift dog pile that has been made on Rem. You just hear this his gnomish frame just his
You're gonna put me in the ground again. Get off
Zach-
of me.
I'm
Mimir's
joining
just
in the
like,
group hug.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm okay. If he jumps on, I now believe I'm actually taking crushing damage.
That's fine. Won't
What
be
is
that
Gil
much.
doing? Is Gil mad?
Yeah, Gil doesn't want to be in this.
It was always mad.
it is
Well,
this
yeah.
it is this like 10 12 like 10 to 15 second moment of just like four of you dumbasses lying on the floor of the second floor of your house, but to the protesting of Rem, the muttering of Gil, I do think, no matter how you slice it, a small smile sneaks its way onto each of your faces, if just for a second, realizing that you're back. And holy shit, you don't technically have to do anything tomorrow.
First time in like months.
Holy shit, we're not doing anything.
You say it's been like a month. We were fighting the Ascended for like 10 days.
Yeah.
It's only a little
guess-
bit true.
I guess I kind of forget
Holy
how short of a
shit.
time that was.
We'll get the timeline all ironed out, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty damn sure I did it correctly, besides Lackham, each of the Ascended took a minimum of 3 days to beat each.
That's insane.
Oh wow.
We put a lot of fucking time into that.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
I think
doesn't
maybe
sound
actually
right.
That doesn't
Kalung.
sound right.
I think Kalung might have only taken a day.
They all took a day. We showed up, trounced them, and left.
Yeah.
We didn't stay anywhere.
You know, I am perfectly fine being in the wrong here, but at the end of the day,
It don't matter. 'cause
it
we
doesn't
did
matter
it.
because you did it. And congratulations to each of the 5 of you. And with this, Rem's here, Zex, Gil, Nime. The 4 of you have.
JC, I have a very important question.
Oh,
as soon as you're
please.
done. Okay, so it just popped in my brain and I just want to make sure that I don't forget. I want Esumi and I to adopt the orc child.
So,
You know, I was hoping I was gonna see him when JC started describing people in the square. I thought he was gonna show up, and I was gonna get so excited.
That is my child now, if you would allow me. He is mine now.
it is
goodness.
mine. So,
I'll witness it.
that
When
actually.
you're on day 3 and she says, "Let's adopt," not even
Let's
official.
adopt.
So,
I don't even think they've
Well,
kissed.
and so that leads into my statement, actually, of saying, Rem, you're alive again. Zex, you've survived. And there's still a lot for you to learn. And teach others. Gilgamesh, there's a promise that you've made, and by God, you intend to keep it. And Nime, there's a lot of people very important to you that, well, it's time to start a very good life. And in that statement of what comes next, it's time to figure that out. I knew that this would be short. As when you finish such a long thing, a massive feast, to put it into a metaphor, the dessert ends quickly. But fear not, I want to make sure, and I'm sure you want as much as I do, to tie up any and all loose ends to the story. But tonight is not that night to do it. And so, although the portion of strict D&D ends tonight, next week we will be having an epilogue. I will be talking to each one of you, and I hope I'm able to do it face to face through voice. We live in different cities at minimum and different states at worst. But if we have to do voice texting, that's all fine. But I want to figure out what your characters are going to do. There's a lot to be done for sure, but, well, we can't go through all of it one by one. And so we are going to work over this week. And why not? We have some time left tonight off stream afterwards. We're going to draft up the end of our story. And next week, we'll talk about what each of our characters are doing, have done, and will be doing for the foreseeable future in the world of Materialace on the continent of Papihos. And so, tonight...
What the hell did you just call the world?
It's a secret.
And then run that back. Run that back. What the hell did you just call it?
Welcome to the world of Materialace and the continent that you've spent so much time and have come to call your home, Papihos. We start at the end of a wonderful, over 3-year story with plenty of characters and plenty of hardships. We have an epilogue to do next week, and I can't wait to see what happens to each and every person in this group. But don't be too sad once the epilogue finishes. It doesn't mean we're going to stop playing. It's only going to halt us for a little bit. Thank you everybody so much for watching. My name is JC, or Jacob. Thank you so much for watching us live on Twitch or the rerun on YouTube. I love you all so much. And thank you, of course, to Jazz, Suzanne, Alpha, James, and Helminia for sticking with me to the end of this story. Let's have a good week, and we'll see how it ends tomorrow. For you, and next week for us. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.